Hello, I am so happy to see you and that you came by for a chat and visit with me today. Um, I am Lisa, and this is my channel Cross by Floss, where I chat about my love of cross stitch as well as life blabbings. But today is a Flosstube extra. I have been talking about doing a stitch with me for, it's been a while, I think, and I had intended on getting one done, and then life happened and things happened and we just didn't. So here I am. So today, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about today's. So today I am working on, let's see if you can see this here, Mary Wigglesworth, 1812. And this is one of the, I believe it's a newer release of, from Nicola from Hands Across the Sea. And, ooh, she pretty. Do you see her? Oh, let's see. Yeah, you get to see a good background. She's very pretty. So that is what I'm going to work on today. And she does not have a lot of colors in her. So, that's also really nice. And what I have done is I have actually counted out my fabric. I know exactly, I have just a touch under a 3-inch border, and I mean a touch. So I counted out, and I'm going to do this outline here because it's so much easier. Well, you couldn't see that, could you? It's so much easier to do. Let's see. I'm going to do this outline here where the wording is, and yes, where the wording is and the flowers. So that, and yeah, so what I did basically was I counted it out so that I would be able to pretty much be able to talk and do, at least it's all straight line stitching and no color changes. So, and because I've already counted out my portion, it's pretty good. Now I know I'll get questions about this. So this is on my iPad. I did the download version. Normally I buy the booklet because I love having the booklets, but there's some of the smaller ones that I just purchase as downloads. And this one went onto my iPad so I can work from it. My iPad is sitting on this cool little contraption. It's all foam, it's filled with foam. I purchased this off of Amazon, and I believe that I saw this from Fat Quarter Shop. Is it, oh goodness, I'm not sure who it is who uses this, but I think they now have like a Fat Quarter Shop version maybe of this. And so, but I purchased mine, and I could be wrong about that, I'm not sure, but I purchased mine off of Amazon. The cool thing is that it has all these pockets in it. It's got pockets in the back as well here, and this is where I keep my scissors and extra floss for the project that I'm working on or things that I'm doing from my iPad or my Kindle. And because I have a case for my Kindle, I'm just gonna slip it into there, and so it's nice and secure. It's not gonna fly off. The whole thing will fly off. It'll all go together. Hopefully get protected. But I'm gonna move that over to the other side here, and so you don't see the pattern. Not that I actually am going to work off of the pattern because I've already counted out my area. Now I am working this chart on 20 count vintage country mocha Ada, and I purchased this quite a while ago from 123 Stitch. I am an Ada girl, and this pattern is good for Ada with the exception of there is one part in the chart that has over 1, but Nicola had explained in her video, you can either, take out the word heart and you can make a heart, chart a little heart to put in that area, or you can backstitch the word heart, or like me, I'm actually going to rechart that whole entire line, and I'm going to fit the word heart in there using my 20 count making it all spaced properly anyways, when I get there. So, which probably will be quite some time. Let's be honest. But, and then I know I'll get questions about this, but this is on a lap stand. The thing I love about these lap stands is that there's two sizes. So there's this size here if you choose, or there's this size here, which is the bigger one, and that's the one I'm going to be working on. And it's nice because it fits in your lap. I'm positioned a little awkwardly, and so it's not going to stay quite where I want it to evenly for the video, unfortunately. So I'm in my living room again today. We're in the process of repainting our master bedroom, and so you're gonna see a mattress sitting here. It's king size. It's the only place it would go in the house that, you know, but it's funny because you drive down my street and it's the first thing you see when you look in the windows is there's a great big mattress. And now you guys get to see the mattress. Yeah, it should not be here very long. Master bedroom's getting painted, and then the cool thing is I have another one of those little red couches that I have in my office, and that's going to go into our master bedroom and go under the window. And so future Stitch With Me's might actually be in there because the lighting's fantastic, and it's a nice little, you know, area to sit in. I think it's going to work out. We're going to find out once we get the bed in there, because it's a king size bed, and previously I've had a queen in there, and so it's going to take up a little more room. We'll see. It'll all work out. It's all going to work out. That's put that good things out into the universe. So anyway, so I apologize. Don't be looking at that. Hopefully you're grabbing some craft, whether you're stitching or sewing or, you know, diamond painting or, I mean, English paper piercing, whatever you're doing. No, Odin. And so hopefully you're getting that. As you heard, Odin is here. He was snoring. Let's see if we can get through the whole entire video without him legitimately barking at somebody coming down the street, who is apparently a big threat to us. We'll see how many edits it becomes when when I'm downstairs in my office. I can close the door, and for the most part he's okay, but I mean, he's got, you know, supersonic hearing, and there's a cat in the neighborhood that just bugs the living daylights out of Odin, and she comes on our property, and I swear she actually taunts him, and he can be fast asleep in my office with the door closed, and I mean, he will, yeah, it's an incredible thing to see. Anyway, okay, so this is a little departure for me because normally I do a loop start, but on 20 count, I actually like over one. I mean, one thread, one strand. Yeah, is that, you all know what I mean. One strand over one, and so, so I'm going to do one over one, yeah. And so I am going to need to catch my thread in the back here. So for the first couple, I'm just gonna, and I like to keep a nice long-ish tail too, so that I know that I'm catching quite a bit, because you know what a pain it is that you don't catch them. Don't catch your back thread, and things happen. Bad things happen. Yep. Okay, so while I start, that's the hardest thing about these videos, is starting, because my Stitch With Me videos is always a new start, and typically a sampler, just because they're so pretty, and I have so many. And bought more. Oh my gosh, you guys, were there not some beautiful releases at market this year? You know, I was doing really well. I was doing so well. I was not going to buy any. I was like, Lisa, you have enough to stitch. We don't need anything. And then, well, Blackbird Designs showed what they brought to market. Why am I having a problem here? Showed what they brought to market, and I was like, I'm gonna need those. So I immediately picked up Humming of the Bees, and what was the other one? Not the one that was released for traditional stitches, which then did get released at market, but the other book. Oh goodness, whatever it is. Anyways, I have that on order at my LNS, Threadneedle Stitch, which I know you guys have heard me talk about quite a bit. Or if you're new, my LNS, I live in Washington State, and in the Seattle area, there is only, I believe, I mean, I've never been to anyone else, and I don't know that they have like a lot of cross stitch. If they do have a store, definitely not the selection. Anyways, my LNS is Threadneedle Street, and I love my LNS, and I love the owner, Denise, and we get along super great. One day I'm going to convince her to let me come to market with her. I know I am. I probably will not, but girl can dream, right? I know she's had offers for a long time to have someone go with her, but that seems like a really nice goal, doesn't it? Anyways, yes, so okay, back to the samplers. I did purchase a few. And then, is it Queenstown? I'm gonna mess up the company. Queenstown something. Anyways, there were 2 samplers that I bought from them as well. Oh my goodness, can you just say absolutely beautiful? And they're Ada appropriate. So I will be on the hunt for some perfect 20 count Ada to go with this. Okay, so I'm struggling a little with my thread, and I'm going to tell you guys why. I normally do a loop start, so I cut my threads for my floss tags to be about 18 inches when you do the loop start. Yes. And so I should have cut this down in half, and I probably will for the other ones, because this is just a little long, and it's bunching up a little. Okay, anyway, all right, how about some chitty chatty stuff? It's been a while since I've done like I mentioned, it's been a while, and oh my goodness, so much has happened. So as many of you know, my daughter is getting married this year, and so I'm very excited because she is my only girl. I have 3 boys and 1 girl, and it's just so exciting to me that I get to be so involved in my daughter's wedding, to what she wants me to be. You know, I don't want to be that, I don't want to, it's her wedding. So, yeah, I'm just so excited to be a part of whatever, you know, she would like to have me included in. And because my daughter and I are close, you know, mom always gets included anyway, which is lovely. But so our first step was, I mean, we have no date. There's no date. She has not pulled out a date, but she did say November. So, so at least that's a start. And I'm now really hoping it is November, because I'm going on another retreat in September. I'm so excited. I got on the list, and ooh, that reminds me, I need to go pay today. But so yes, I'll be going to a retreat in September. So September is now off the table, miss. She doesn't watch my videos. She'll have no clue. But yeah, so anyways, and I do know that they were going, or they had at least mentioned that they were going to look at a couple of venues last weekend. And, you know, between the two of them, they know quite a few people in the Seattle community, and they won't have any trouble, you know, finding a bartender. And you know, they're not, I guess that's probably why they haven't actually picked a date, because they're not stuck on anything, so that, you know, their friends who would be involved in other aspects of the wedding, you know, have time. And so that's probably one of the reasons. But anyways, we got to do some dress shopping. Now, my daughter decided that she wanted to, and I'm going to say it now because we've already purchased her dress. So, but my daughter decided that she wanted to buy her dress from a place called Dress for a Cause. No, Brides for a Cause. No, Dress for a Cause, Brides for a Cause. I'll figure it out. I'll link it down below. But their message is really, really awesome. And so the deal with them is that I think that there's like 4 stores between the Washington and Oregon area, Portland area, and they all get different stock, because these dresses are donated either by brides who have already worn them, or by the designers, their samples or things that just didn't sell. And so they get, you know, fairly good sized shipments a couple of times a year, and then they have these sales a couple of times a year. And so we're, you know, because November is still quite a ways off and we have lots of time to find a dress, you know, we went during the sale time and see, and because we're still, you know, in COVID, they have some new protocols in place that you have to make an appointment. You get an hour only for the appointment, and you're only allowed 3 people in your party, not including, was it including the bride? I don't think it was including the bride. So we decided, my daughter had heard that the Portland store had a lot more of smaller dress sizes came to that one. And because she is a small girl, we thought, well, okay, let's try there first. And so we did, and we made a weekend of it. We did a girls' weekend, which was so fun. So the grandbaby came, and she's 10, and she's so excited to be involved. And then my daughter and I. Well, this store was very close to Acorns and Threads, and I was going to Acorns and Threads anyways. I said to my daughter, you know, let's make a weekend of it. I'll go pick up my kit that is at Acorns and Threads, and yeah, we'll just you know, have a good time and have a girls' weekend. We have not done that for a long time, and so we did. And Acorns and Threads was my first stop. Now, the weather was absolutely beautiful. It was chilly, but it was sunny. It was beautiful. And so the two of them stayed in the car because they are less than interested in Grammy's love of cross stitch. And, you know, there's devices to play on in the car, right? So my daughter did come in. She needed to use the restroom. So they came in and kind of looked at me, and I was like, I'm not going to be long. I promise. And I really was just going to look at or pick up my kit from a Zoom meetup that was done anyways. Whew. during that time, I also did a little bit of shopping, and I did show that in whatever video that was, my haul from then, and talked about the hot flash that I had during that shopping trip, which was just super fun and, you know, inappropriate to rip your clothes off. So while I'm standing in line fanning myself with several patterns, I do layer for that reason. Plus, I mean, if you're a Washingtonian, you know you layer because, you know, we can have sunshine one moment and the next minute we can have pouring rain like it currently is doing kind of right now. And so you just learn that you layer. And so I was, you know, taking off my sweater and oh my goodness. So anyways, I get my lovely stuff from Acorns and Threads, and my daughter is looking for a hotel in the Portland area, downtown Portland area. And I found out, I guess because I have always made the reservations, and because when we typically go on vacation, it's with a group of us, and or, you know, limited, well, I mean, we always have limited funds, but more so, and yeah, just kind of where we're staying. And so we don't typically stay at, you know, 4 or 5 star hotels. Motel 6. Yeah, so we don't, I guess I have never really paid attention to my daughter's hotel reservation choices. So she's in the car, and because I tasked her with finding the hotel, and she's stressing out. And she's like, Mom, I mean, it wasn't the cost, because it was just going to be for one night. And so, you know, we said, we're just going to stay in the Portland area, have fun, you know, be at a nice hotel. Well, my daughter is kind of, I don't want to say snobby, but she has certain things that she is looking for in a hotel. And the bathroom is one of them. So I'm like, okay. And she's like, this hotel's, the rooms look really nice, but the bathroom, not so nice. And I'm like, are you having a bath in the bathtub? Like, are you saunaing it? Like, spaing it? Like, I don't understand. What's the matter with the bathroom? Looks clean. It's fine. She goes, yeah, no, I don't like the vibe of the bathroom. There's a vibe to a bathroom, you guys. Did you know that? I did not know that. So, and then there was another hotel that the bathroom was lovely, but she didn't like the look of the room. And I'm like, oh, for goodness sake, sister, we're just gonna sleep in there. Like, I don't understand what's happening. So, so we finally find one, or she finally find one. And I said, yeah, that looks great. And because, you know, especially if you you know, hotels don't book up over a day or whatever, so then they have some specials. And so we found like an online special for the hotel, and she books it, we get there, and it's a lovely hotel. I also don't typically go to hotels that you have to pay to park. Well, we had to pay to park because, you know, it's downtown Portland. All new experiences for me. So we get on up there in the hotel. Our room is beautiful. It's very modern, which is very much what my daughter really likes. And so, yeah, really nice. We go to look for something to eat. Yeah, we did. I'm trying to think of what we did. Oh, and then you also had to pay for like Wi-Fi and stuff. I was like, my goodness sakes, girl, you know, seriously, again, Motel 6, I get everything I need. She's like, yeah, but they're gross. Okay. So we get outside, we start walking around, and we found we found a place that, no, we didn't. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm going to get this story right. We had an appointment at 5 o'clock for a dress fitting. So we head on out and we go to the dress store, and we walk in, and it's a storefront, and they just have racks and racks and racks and racks of wedding dresses, and like no frills, no nothing. And then they have like in the back they have the rooms to try on, and with some nice mirrors and nice drapes, and it's very pretty in the back. But the front, I mean, there was just absolutely no frills, and I walked on in there and I was like, dang. And so the girl explains to us, how the process works, and that because of COVID, your party has to stay with you, which means that if the bride is looking at a dress in one certain area, the rest of her party has to be in that area with her, and which was totally fine. So then they explain it's an hour appointment, and in that hour you can try on 15 dresses, and but only 5 at a time. You can only take 5 at a time, and then the bride has to get dressed back up and then go back and look for 5 more dresses if she hasn't found one in the first 5, and her party has to come with her. Totally fine. We're totally good. But when they said 15 dresses, I was like, challenge accepted. You guys, we tried on 18 dresses. We would have been able to do more if they had additional long sleeve dresses to try on. And my daughter is looking for a long sleeve dress because she's getting married in the fall, and she had kind of an idea of what she wanted, but we tried on absolutely every long sleeve dress that they had in her her size and one size up. So then what we also didn't realize, and I guess because I got married at home by a justice of the peace, and we just had a very small, intimate family wedding, and then we had a big reception for family and friends after. And so I didn't have like a typical wedding dress, and so I guess I never knew that wedding dress sizes, you actually go up a size than your normal size. And one of the reasons why we went to Portland was because they apparently, from the things online, they had a lot in her current size, a lot of choices in her current size. And then we found out that no, actually that's not the size she would be. They would be way too tight, and so totally fine. But yes, we tried on every single long sleeve dress that they had, and there were 18 of them. Well, there was more than 18. Okay, so we did not try on every single one. There were a few that she was like, absolutely no. But if there were more in the style that she was looking for, we would have tried those on and we would have made it. So challenge accepted. We did more than 15 dresses, but also it's because her and I work very well together as a team. I have the next dress ready for her to try on while she's taking the other one off. I'm putting it back on the hanger while she's trying the dress on, or I've flipped it over her, and we work really good. While she's looking, I'm zipping, and yeah, all of the things. So and she's also pretty decisive. She knows as soon as she tries something on whether or not you get that feel good vibe, whether that's going to be your dress or not. And so anyways, that's turned out, after trying all those dresses, there was not one, but there were some points. Okay, so there was a point in there. So my little had to sit outside the dressing room because there was just not enough room with 5 big dresses, plus the 2 of us adults in there, trying on the dresses and putting them back on. The hangers, there just was no room for her to sit, so she sat outside the little dressing room. And then my daughter would come out and she would show her daughter the dresses, and she would go, "Ooh, mommy, you look so pretty." And it was just so, so cute. Or, "Ooh, that dress is not for you." It was very cute. But there was one point that there was one dress that was a pretty good contender. But there were a couple of things wrong with it that we could have had altered if she really, really wanted that dress. But she was like, "It's so early in our search, we can just keep looking." But anyways, this dress had this beautiful train in the back. And you guys, I about lost it. I about lost it when my granddaughter bent down and fix the train of the dress so that it would all be so smooth while her mom was standing there. Oh, you guys, I about lost it. I was like, I almost started to cry. And my daughter looks at me and she goes, "Are you about to cry? We don't cry in public. You suck those tears back in." And I'm like, "Yes, of course, I'm not crying. I'm not crying." But it was just such a sweet, sweet moment. And I was just, oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Even as I think about it, I still, goodness sakes. And then we went to dinner. So my daughter did not find anything in there that she even wanted to put on hold and maybe come back the next day and see. She was like, "No, if it's meant to be, it'll still be here if we don't find something else." And like I said, she said, "We have, lots of time to find a dress." She's not in any hurry. So, okay. So then we went to dinner and we chose Italian because the little is gluten-free, gluten intolerant, and dairy intolerant as well. And so we found a pasta restaurant that had gluten-free pasta for her, and it was just oh my gosh, the food was delicious. My daughter and I were so happy. Oh, we so happy. And then we did a little sightseeing after dinner, and we were nice and full. Of course, we had a drink. Oh, it was so good. There was dessert. Oh my gosh, it was all so good, you guys. We don't have that restaurant here, I don't think. Now I'm gonna have to go look. But they had quite a few of the same restaurant within Portland. I don't remember what it's called, but if you ask me, I'll look at my bank statement and figure out what name it was. But whew, it was really good, from the appetizers to the drink. Oh yeah, no, it was all good. And so then we did some sightseeing. Ooh, and then, okay, so outside the bridal store, which was kind of like in this industrial area-ish, I would say. Yeah, kind of. But across the street, there was this building, and it was a huge building, big, 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 tall building. And they had this beautiful picture on it. And then the hair of the lady, it was all in plants. And of course, I'm a plant freak, right? Like, we're sitting in a bit of a jungle. Even my rug has plant stuff on it. That was unintentional. But yeah, it was just so cool. So my daughter and I were trying to like get a really good picture of it, and the little is standing, we were across the road from it, and so we're trying to wait till all the traffic goes by so we can get a picture of it, and the little is trying to stand there so she can be, it's in the background of her. It was, oh my gosh, this building was fantastic. I don't know that I've ever seen a building like that they've got plants growing out of the building and made specifically. The rest of the picture was made specifically so it would emphasize that. It was really cool. And I did show a picture of that, I think, on possibly Instagram, and I know I did in one of the videos that I talked about Portland. But okay, now, homelessness is everywhere, right? Like, we have a large population of homelessness in Seattle, and actually it's really quite distressing to see how many tent city is, and underpasses have people living under them, and yeah, it's just, I mean, pretty much any overpass, underpass here, there's somebody living there. And then there's a lot of areas that there's large amounts of tents that the homeless are in. And but outside of Washington State, yeah, I've been to San Francisco, and you see the people on the corner asking for change and stuff, but I don't know that I've ever seen to that extent. And so going to Portland, we also, like, downtown Portland, there is a lot of homelessness and people having tents on the sidewalk, and sleeping in store doorways and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just it's very, very sad. But anyways, I grew up inner city, and so for me, and my daughter lives in West Seattle, and so there, it's just something is around. And so anyways, we're touring around, we're doing the touristy thing, and doing a little sightseeing and everything, and then we decide we're gonna go and get Voodoo Donuts, because you cannot go to Portland without getting Voodoo Donuts. They are, bar none, the best donuts I've ever had, bar none. And the flavors are just absolutely delicious. So we went to, there are two very, very close together, and we went to the smaller of the two, and because we didn't think that maybe there would be a line there, and they're open 24/7. And so it was fairly late-ish at night, like it was already dark. And so we go and when we get our donuts, and my daughter went and got hers, and got hers first. And then she looked at me and she said, Mom, do you know where my phone is? And I said, no. And she said, oh man, I hope I didn't leave it at the restaurant. And I said, no, I don't think you did, because weren't you using it in the car? And she goes, oh yeah, maybe I left it in the car. Can I have your keys? And I'm going to go out to the car. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Now, we had parked across, we had a little walk to get to where the donut thing is, just a little walk. And so I was like, yeah, of course, I'm not worried. So she takes the little and her donuts, and she goes out to the car, and I chit-chat up the gal, and I'm getting my donuts and stickers and all the things. And then I leave the store, and as I walk to my car, I realize that there is somebody behind me following me, and is following kind of close. And my phone also is in the car, because I wasn't going to need it. And my daughter's in the car with my keys and all the things, right? So I get to my car, and I lift up the back of the car, the back trunk thing, hatch, whatever. And this guy is right behind me, and he goes, hey, can you spare some change? And in the meantime, I'm thinking, normally, like, because you learn when you live inner city, you keep your keys a certain way, or you might have your phone on and ready to call emergency if needed, or whatever, right? As a woman, you learn tactics when you live in certain areas that may not be as safe. You learn some safety skills. And so normally I would have my keys in my hands with all of the keys pointed out, right, in between my fingers. But my daughter had my keys, and my phone was in the car. And so, I realize that there's somebody following me, but, you don't act scared, and you don't do the things, right? And so I get to my car, and as I'm pulling up my trunk, I was just about to say to my daughter, you need to call 911. And the guy says, do you have any spare change? And I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't carry cash. And he goes, well, okay, how about you share some of those donuts with me? And he was a homeless guy, and he was just looking for some food and money. And goodness sakes, but I was so surprised, and I don't know what would have happened if, you know, my daughter obviously was in the car, and so there was other people around. I did not use my safety skills, you guys, so word of caution. Yeah, I have to say I was very surprised at how bold he was. Normally, you know, the people who are panhandling or whatever, they kind of stay on a corner, and so I was really surprised to have been followed, and then, you know, have him so close and asking, and yeah. Anyway, it was all fine. It was all good, and we had a really good time. We had a really good time. And then, so we get back to the hotel with our leftovers, because the food, like I said, was real good, and our donuts. And my daughter is super tired because, you know, apparently it is very tiring being a passenger in the car, and then, you know, half trying on wedding dresses. Ooh, and here's another thing that we learned about wedding dresses. So any future mom of brides to be, and if you're doing that, so my daughter brought a pair of high heels with her, that she, about the size of heel that she would wear with her wedding dress, so that she could see what the wedding dress looked like and all that with heels on. So she had brought that. And then we discovered, with going from that, you were only allowed to try on so many dresses, and then you have to get dressed back up, you know, in order to go back out to get your 5 dresses, and then come back in and get undressed and put the dresses on. So for future store visits, what we did were, I suggested to her, and she was like, yeah, I already was thinking about that. She just got like a wrapper, you know, a wrap to put on between dress allowances. Numbers, whatever. So just a small tip: bring shoes, and then bring like a little robe or something that you can just slip on and not have to get fully dressed again, in order to go and get more dresses. So, or try on additional dresses if you're doing that kind of dress hunting. So just a small tip. It was fantastic. We did that for the last 2 stores before she found her dress, and it was fantastic. Okay, so then we get back to the hotel, and yes, she's exhausted and everything. So she actually falls asleep, and my daughter can be deep sleep. So the little, in the meantime, she is nowhere near tired. I'm a little tired, you know, so I'm laying down and I'm watching some Flosstube, and I'm thinking about stitching. I brought like three projects with me. I did nothing, you guys. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have all this time to stitch. No, because we got back to our hotel kind of late, and then the little had a shower. Now, in all the fuss of my daughter having to have like this nice bathroom, which I'm assuming the reason why she wanted the nice bathroom was because she was going to have like a bath and, you know, do all the things. And I don't know. No, she did none of that. But the little decides to have a shower. And while she showers, she has music going from her iPad. So, and it's a little loud, because she be a little deaf, being little, and yet, you know, she can hear a chip bag open 1,000 miles away, but she can't hear you say, "Hey, baby girl, it's time for you to clean up your room." No, can't hear that. Anyway, that's all children. It's some spouses too. And dogs. Though I don't know that I've ever asked my dog to clean his room. anyway, so the little has got her music on kind of loud. And like I said, it's semi-late-ish. It's probably 10:30, maybe even 11 o'clock. And I'm thinking, the people, if there's anybody in the rooms around us, we're going to get banging on the door because it was loud. And I even went in there a couple of times and I was like, baby girl, we got to turn that down. Like, it's a little loud. And she's like, okay. So I turned it down a little bit. No, it was still really loud. Maybe it's because it was so quiet in our hotel room. It seemed louder to me, but it was loud. And so my daughter falls asleep through this whole entire thing, through the shower, my granddaughter running back out. So she had a problem with the shower. So whoever, whether it was the cleaning staff or maybe maintenance, had been in there to fix something, but the knob to get the shower on was really tight. Like, even I had a problem with it. So the little could not get it, right? So she comes bouncing out of the bathroom, Grammy, Grammy, in loud voice, I need your help. And I'm like, okay. So, I get up and I go to help her. And like I said, it was really hard. So I finally get it, and we get the shower water going, and then not even like, I get back into bed, I get all settled and everything, and then this little voice shouts from the bathroom again, Grammy, I need your help again. So I'm like, okay. So I get back out of bed and I'm like, what's the matter now? And she's like, it's cold. It's only cold water coming out. Well, wouldn't you know it, you actually had to turn the knob like almost 3 times around in order for hot water to come out. So it was like, huh. And she wouldn't have known, like, yeah. But in the meantime, all of this is happening. My daughter is fast asleep. She is passed out, you guys, in the bed next to me. So I'm like, huh, that's interesting. I don't even know how that happens. So it's probably 10 minutes into the little shower. She takes very long showers. 10 minutes into her shower with this loud music and everything, and all of a sudden, and I have my back to my daughter because I'm watching Flosstube the other way, and I'm trying to keep it quiet, but loud enough so I can hear it over the music coming from the bathroom. So all of a sudden, I hear this, and my daughter goes, Mom, Mom. So I turn over and I'm like, what? She's like, where's the little? And you guys, keep in mind, so she's half sitting upright, right? Her eyes are closed, and she's whipping her head around like, and I'm like, honey, what's the matter? And she goes, where's the little? She's not next to me. And I'm like, she's in the shower. Like, can you not hear that? And she goes, oh, okay, good. And then she lays back down and she goes back asleep, you guys. Like, Mr. G can do that. How? I can't do that. If my adrenaline has kicked in and I am like, don't even know, like, I get up because something seems off, I'm now up for hours. No, girl goes back to sleep. I'm like, I don't even get it. So, 5-10 minutes later, the little finally finishes her shower and comes on out, and she's dripping wet. So I've got to get back up and dry her all off and help her with her hair. And she slips into bed with her mom and everything. And she's got YouTube on. My daughter slept through the whole thing, you guys. I was dying. I was like, how exhausted can you be? I mean, it was like Mr. G was in the room, and, because he can do stuff like that. I was like, no, I'm wide awake. I'm awake for hours, but I didn't want to have like lights on in order to cross stitch because, I didn't want to disturb them. So finally, I actually fell asleep. And the little gets up and she plugs her iPad in between. There was only one night table, and it was in between the 2 beds. There was no other surfaces to put things on. And they were queen size beds. So she gets up and she plugs her iPad in, but she falls asleep to music. And the iPad is closest to me. And her music is slightly annoying. It's like, what does she listen to? It's called Loki, Loki, something music. It's kind of a mix between Minecraft music, techno, I don't even know, YouTube stuff. It's slightly annoying. And so I had to wake up and turn it off because, oh my goodness sakes. Yep, I still even hear some of those songs in my head from that night. I'm a little scarred. Oh, goodness. And then the next day we got up and we went to the outlet mall in Woodburn. And that was so much fun. We went to several of the stores in there. Oh, man, it was packed. It was so packed. And got some lunch. And that's when Mr. G, that was really close to Valentine's Day. So that's when Mr. G helped purchase, well, he did purchase, but he got a say in the purse that I bought from the Kate Spade outlet store. And oh yeah, it was such a fun weekend. We had such a good time. And we talk so much, my daughter and I, we almost missed the exit. We're going down the highway and we're chit-chatting away. And then all of a sudden she looks up and she goes, Mama, I think that this is our exit. Man, you guys, I was doing some Mario style driving, getting on over. There was nobody. I mean, I don't think I cut anybody off. If I did, and it was you, I apologize. But yeah, that happened. But time goes by and we're just chit-chatting, and then all of a sudden we're like, yeah, that might have been our exit, or we're looking for this store and we've already passed it. And I also introduced her to Dutch Bros. Can you guys believe she's never had Dutch Bros? Who's never had Dutch Bros in Washington? Oh goodness, it's so good. It's so good. So we did the Dutch Bro visit, and she likes. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So that was kind of our trip to Portland. It was a lot of fun, and then was it the weekend after, or maybe the weekend after? 2 weekends after the Portland trip, we went to the Tacoma store. Brides for a Cause dress. I'm pretty sure it's Dress for a Cause. And so we went there and we tried on every dress in there too. And we did find one that was real close, but she didn't really want to commit to it. So, and we'd already had appointments set up for the Seattle dress store. So she decided that, again, if it was meant to be, it would still be there. And she wanted to see what the Seattle store had. Well, at the Seattle store is where she found her dress. And it was not at all what we were even looking for. It was kind of a last ditch as we were about to leave. We were really on our way out. And this dress just kind of caught my eye. And I was like, hey, because we knew that we can have things put on it. She even was considering, if she didn't find a long sleeve dress, that maybe she would like wear a capelet or something. And so we were starting to look at different options by the third store. And yeah, when I saw this dress, I was like, why don't you we still had time on our appointment. And I was like, how about you just try this one on, just see what it's like. And she had said to me, that's really funny, Mom, because I was looking on Etsy this morning and saw a dress really similar to this. And I was thinking how pretty that would be. Not as intricate, but how pretty it would be for the engagement photos. And I said, yeah, just let's try it on. And then as it happened, one of the gals who worked in the store is also a wedding dress designer, and she's going to help us get sleeves on this dress and make it look like it'll be a one of a kind. So, so yeah, really, it was, you guys, it was just such a, you know, I always wanted a daughter, and, you know, I had 2 boys before she came along, and, I just, yeah, we have just such a great relationship, and I am just so thrilled that, you know, she came to me, and yeah, she's just such a, you know, we've had our times and, you know, tribulations and everything, but we are definitely close, and I just am so appreciative of the girl that she is turned into, the woman she's turned into, and that she's part of my life. And yeah, it was just such a special thing to be able to share with her. I have talked for almost an hour. And you guys, Odin has been really good. There's only been one time that I had to stop, or twice. Maybe, I don't even remember. Goodness sakes. Yeah. Look at this piece of thread, this length of thread has gone this whole entire ways. I'm almost at 150 stitches, and I haven't even come back to the next leg. Goodness sakes. That's a long piece of floss. Thread. Whatever. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed those stories and got a giggle out of some of them. And yes. And I guess I'm going to wrap it up and for a later time. And I guess this will go into my whip rotation. Not that I even have a rotation, let's be honest. And you'll see some progress on this. I think while the video is uploading, I need to make some more floss tags, you guys, because as I was kitting this project up, I'm like, where's all the paper that I had that I need to make floss tags with? And I can't find them. I have a bunch of 12 by 12 paper that I have already, I double them so that they can be really nice and sturdy cardstock. So I use pattern paper, sturdy pattern paper on one side, and then the other side is just plain white or ivory cardstock that I have, because back in the day I did a lot of creative memories or Stampin' Up. So I have a lot of cardstock, and so I just glue those together and let them dry for a while, and then punch them out for floss tags. And I know I have a ton of paper somewhere. I have no idea where it is. Not the first clue. So luckily I had purchased some ready-made tags that somebody on Flosstube. Flosstube's a dangerous place, you guys. All enablement, right? Anyways, I found that and my book of stickers that I had purchased because of Brenda and the Cereal Starter, aka Laura. And goodness sakes, so I need to make some more floss tags so that I can finish putting the rest of the floss for this beautiful pattern onto floss rings, floss tags. So while the video is uploading, that's what I'll be doing, making some floss tags and putting some more stitches of this in there. So hope you had fun. I hope you got something done on whatever craft you're doing, and I hope to see you in my next video when I do either another stitch with me, or next week I will be back with my regular type video where I went to my LNS again yesterday and I had a Mirabilia frenzy, like an all-out frenzy. Oh dear, oh dear. So that will be next week, in next week's video. So I hope you will join me then. But until then, I hope you have a great week. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.